All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Beautiful Saturday, sunny day here in Chicago. We're going to talk Houston Rockets today. I'm actually going to talk Karl Anthony Towns because, well, the T-Wolves suck. And Karl Anthony Towns next year, first off, there's a bunch of just kind of rumbling going around for Cat. But next year, you got to think with 2 years left on the contract, kind of given what we saw with Paul George, what we saw with Anthony Davis, you got to imagine that these are going to ramp up significantly next season because they're already pretty hot topics right now. Before we get into today's video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. I just ate I had a great piece of toast. So I'm just super ready for this video, so let's just get right into it. The Timberwolves as a general unit, they're pretty bad. And it's weird because they've had a lot of good picks in the draft. And not all of them have panned out. Obviously, we know kind of how the whole T-Wolves started. They got Cat, they got Wiggins, they got Levine. Well, look at them now. They kind of picked Cat, and I have nothing wrong with Cat because he's an incredible player. But as of right now, man, Zach LaVine is looking like just an absolute beast. So I think that with this Minnesota Timberwolves squad, I think that, first off, when they have a healthy D'Lo, when they have a healthy Towns, I think they're obviously much better team. They actually haven't barely even played together this season. They're getting like Anthony Edwards, obviously he was the first pick in the draft this season, and he's on my fantasy team, so I love Anthony Edwards. I think he's a dope guy, but he struggled to open the season. He's been getting much better as pretty much every single game goes on. He's really significantly improved his pick and roll game. Jared Vanderbilt, I really like what he's got going on. He's a good defensive player. The problem with the T-Wolves is their pick this season is top 3 protected. So there's a pretty decent chance that they don't even get a first-round pick this season. And to add insult to injury, they don't have any cap space. I think they could do a sign and trade. They could do like a mid-level exemption, but they would pretty much, the best case they could get in the offseason as of right now is like a solid role player, which is exactly what they could use, but it's nothing that would go and make this team just contenders out of nowhere. So I'm kind of monitoring this situation because I think that the Houston Rockets have probably one of the better chances at getting Karl Anthony Towns whenever he becomes ready to get traded. So I also think that Naz Reid, Karl Anthony Towns, I don't really think that they fit well together. I'm not a huge fan of it. Let's talk Karl Anthony Towns in particular. I think he gets flamed way too much for his defense. I think he's got average defense at absolute worst. The thing about the Timberwolves is that their perimeter defense is horrible. So if their horrible defense gets burned every single play or majority of plays or just a lot of plays every game, it's going to be reliant on Karl Anthony Towns. So he's pretty much just getting served way too much on his platter. Here's what I see happening with the Timberwolves. I don't think that they do anything this season. Obviously, even if they get a top 3 lottery pick, good for them. But I still think Karl Anthony Towns becomes available more significantly next season. And I think that the Rockets have a great chance because of, first off, just how many draft picks we have. We have just so many. I mean, we got 4 from James Harden. We got 1 from Russ. We got 2 from Rocco. We've gotten just an insane amount of first-round picks. And the Timberwolves, if you ask me, I don't think the Timberwolves will be relevant. I don't think that the Timberwolves will be good for a very long time unless they get new ownership. And even if they get new ownership, it's obviously not going to turn around next season. So Karl Anthony Towns, I don't think that he stays in Minnesota that much longer, and I just think we've got a good shot. So let's talk about how he would even fit on this team, because we have the pieces to get him. We've got the picks to get him, and we're just kind of actually getting more assets as the season goes by. So the draft picks are really what's going to be so enticing, because we have just a whole plethora. And this is why I don't really like when people say, I don't like that James Harden trade. I don't like the Russell Westbrook trade. I don't like the Rocco trade, because they're all late first-round picks, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, they could be late first-round picks, but first off, you don't even know that. Second off, they're still first-round picks, and we have a fucking lot of them. My biggest concern about Karl Anthony Towns and the Houston Rockets is not anything. It has nothing to do with Karl Anthony Towns, because he's a beast, and I think he's an incredible basketball talent. My biggest concern is just straight up with the Houston Rockets organization, because first off, if they didn't want Jared Allen because he's too big, why would they want Karl Anthony Towns? Right? Why do they want Christian Wood to be the center so badly? And if you think about it, it makes zero logic, because no team in the history of the NBA has ever won an NBA championship playing small ball for the whole fucking season. Small ball works in bursts, doesn't work for the whole fucking season, and it's so evident. It's just unbelievable how evident it is. And you've got to think, if us casuals can clearly see this in the last few years, like, hey, this especially didn't work last season, and it's especially not working this season, so can we just butcher that plan? And I've got this sneaking suspicion that it's just so, here, let me try to explain my reasoning. It's so contradictory, kind of, because it's like you'll have Silas come out and say, we're so excited for John Wall, Victor Oladipo, and Christian Wood for the second half of the season. We have a good team. We think we're going to do good things. Well, why'd you get rid of Boogie for nothing and waive him if you're going to try to compete? Are you that stubborn that he's too big? DeMarcus Cousins is too big that you think he's having that much of a negative impact on your team that you want to keep winning and he's not helping us do it? It just sounds so crazy to me, because we've lost 13 straight games and our pick is top 4 protected. And when you have a top 4 protected pick, if your pick doesn't fall in the top 4, you're not getting that draft pick. So we're so far out of the West, and even if we make the playoffs, we're gonna play first. We'll play first round. We get swept, losing 5, whatever it is. That's not ideal to me. So I've got this theory that the Houston Rockets are just doing everything that they pretty much can to try to tank. They want to get as small as possible because they know it's not going to win, and they don't want to win this season because they want to get a top 4 pick. But you have to give the illusion that you're winning. You're still trying to win. You're excited for the second half of the season because, well, if you say you're not and, yeah, we're tanking, then first off, what does that do for the entire locker room? What does that do for just kind of the culture in general, the fans, the organization, money, profit, all that stuff? So my theory, I don't think it's far-fetched, but my theory is that we are faking playing small ball to lose more games this season, to get that top 4 pick, to get Evan Mobley, to get Cade Cunningham, to get Jalen, to get one of those players, hopefully Cade Cunningham. We have Christian Wood. Go out, make a trade, make a big-ass trade for Karl Anthony Towns. We've got cap space this season. We've got cap space next season. Get some good role players who can help us win more games. Bada bing, bada boom. Rebuild's over. Half a year rebuild right there. We got talent. We got picks. This year is going to suck, but I really think it's going to be the only year that sucks. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Let me know your thoughts on if we could get Karl Anthony Towns, because I think it's very plausible. If they really wanted to get Karl, I think that they really easily could. And I think the fit would be perfect because I think Karl is just an absolute beast on the basketball court. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys.